Hey guys, it's RX here and welcome back to my channel. We are back with another keyboard review and I'm so excited to show you guys what we have today. So we have here a budget 75% that might be a direct competitor to the QK75, and this is the JRIS75 or the Jris75 by My Key Club. If you can remember, they are the ones who made the Jris65%, and the group buy for this is now live and it will end on March 12th. By the way, a quick disclaimer that this keyboard was sent by My Key Club for a review, but I wasn't paid to make the video, so of course, I'll give you guys my honest and unbiased opinion about the board. So before we dive into the video, what is the Jris75? The Jris75 is a screwless 75% that offers a quick disassembly. By means of quick disassembly, the board comes in with no screws and you can actually take it off as easy as this. So the board uses this tension catch thingy that is like a hinge. So it has two on the top and at the bottom of the case, and it's actually really sturdy and robust. Plus it has these two pins on the side to make sure that the board will be aligned. With this, you can easily take off the case whenever you want to rebuild the board or whenever you want to open the board. Another feature of the board would be their new gasket implementation. So instead of going for the Paran gaskets, they are using this dumbbell looking silicone gaskets, and with this gaskets you can actually adjust the stiffness or the softness in terms of the typing feel of the board, in which they call triple adjustment. So you can do 3 configurations using the gasket, and first would be the softest, so you will place the gaskets only on the left and right. Next would be the middle, wherein you'll place the gaskets only on the middle part. And lastly, the hardest, which you will place all 3 gaskets. This is really interesting, and you don't need to buy the gaskets as an add-ons to get all configurations. So it's really nice to see that you can adjust the typing feel depending on your preference. Now for the price of the board, the price will start from $180 and would go up depending on your add-ons. I've placed the pricing list on the description down below for your reference. The board itself is a full CNC alu case with an internal brass weight, and it also has an option for a wireless configuration. It has 11 case options to choose from, and they sent us the wine red and black. It also has 7 weight options to choose from, and they sent us a PVD silver. Now for the PCB, it has 4 options: ANSI and multi-layout with hot swap or solder versions, and it has a daughterboard and supports QMK and VIA. Lastly, of course, the plates. So it has 4 options to choose from: an FR4, palm plate, polycarbonate plate, and the one that they sent us, the alu plate for today's build. Now let's quickly unbox and build the board. So mine came in with this carrying bag, which will be included in your order, and the accessory box that holds the cables, switch and keycap puller, the gaskets, and the usual stuff would also be included on your order. Now below the accessory box, it will be the add-ons that I'm talking about. So for the add-ons, they sent me the knob. So keep in mind that the knob is not included on your order, so you need to add it as an add-ons. And by the way, you can choose from between 3 for the upper right corner, either a badge, a LED light, or this knob. And again, keep in mind, badges are again an add-ons. Now looking at the case itself, we have here a 2-tone case. So we have wine red for the top case, and we have black for the bottom case. Now looking at the back of the case, we have here the PVD silver, which is really nice, and I like how it's really simple with no brandings at all. And also, please don't be like me. I forgot to add the rubber feet. So as you can see here, there's like a minimal scratches. So please, once you get the board, put the rubber feet right away. Now the anodization has a really nice finish to it. Looks really decent and has a smooth texture to it. And looking at the board overall, personally, I love 75% that doesn't have an exploded arrow key, so this is really my preferred layout in terms of 75%. It's more like a compact look. I just kind of wish that it has a slimmer bezels on all sides, the top, the bottom, and the sides. But nonetheless, it is being that simple that adds that character look to it. Now finally, let's talk about my build for the Soundtest. I'm using the Durock V2 stabs. It's lubed and wholly modded. The switches that we're using for the Soundtest are the tungsten switches. It's also lubed with a 205 grade 0 and 105 grade 0 on the springs. We are using the hardest gasket configuration using all gaskets, using an alu plate, a plate foam, and no PE sheet, and also using one case foam. The keycast that was used was a GMK set, so with all that out of the way, please do enjoy the sound test on the Jris75. So that was the sound test for the Jris75. Please do let me know on what you think about the board on the comment section down below, and let's have some quick discussions. And finally, let's now go ahead and talk about my thoughts and opinion about the board. First, let's talk about my thoughts on the feel. I have been using the board for almost 3 weeks now, and I must say, even though that it has flex cuts on the PCB and plate, I didn't find it too flexy or bouncy for my preference. Maybe because I was using the hardest gasket config, but I actually like typing on this. There are times that I wasn't that bothered on the flex and bounce, as I would only notice them if I want to notice them, if you get what I mean. And to be honest, I'm still surprised as why I love typing on them, but yeah, these have a decent typing feel to it. And to be fair, we are using an alu plate and the hardest and stiffest gasket configuration. Speaking of the gaskets, as mentioned, I really like how this was implemented, as you can really try 3 variations depending on your preference. I find the softest a bit too bouncy, and you can feel a bit of vibrations when using them, and even the middle configuration, I still find it a bit too bouncy for my preference. But the hardest configuration, it perfectly suits my taste in terms of the typing feel. Now, I've tried all 3, and I can say that the hardest configuration is by far my favorite. Now, I made a video where I shared my thoughts and opinion on each configuration, and I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. Now, moving on to my thoughts on the sound. Now on this side, well, considering that it has flex cuts on the PCB and plate, the sound is a bit too thin. And it's not like it's to the point that it's muted, but it's just thin. Like, you don't have to worry about the hollowness of the board, but because of the flex cuts, it sounds like the board needs a little bit more of a push to it. I would say that they sound okay and it sounds decent, but you know it would have been better and sounded more solid with a non-flex cut. Now, of course, we can add some tape mod to it, which Near Lucid did on his review, so go check him out. But as mentioned, luckily they did provide a non-flex cut option, but it will only come with the per key RGB PCB and also a non-flex cut plate, but only on the POM and PC, which I kinda get it. Why? Because those two plates are softer than the Alu and FR4. Now let's talk about the quick disassembly. This is the main feature that I like the most on the board, as you can easily take off the case and rebuild them. So you can easily add and remove the foam, change the gasket configuration, and making the experience fun and exciting at the same time, because again, you can easily try many configurations and really find the preferred sound and feel by doing those configurations while taking off the board easily. Overall, I can say that for the starting price of $180, the board itself, it's really decent and it's really good for its price, considering that you have a lot of options in terms of the foam configuration and up to the typing feel with your gasket implementation. And again, the quick disassembly, it also helps a lot big time, as you can quickly rebuild the board whenever you like. You can also choose if you want a knob, a badge, or a light badge, and a decent case and weight color options to choose from, plus they added a non-flex cut PCB and plate, so it's really up to your preference and you wouldn't have this fear of missing out since you are not stuck with one configuration when buying. Although of course, yes, there's going to be some add-ons along the way, but at least you're not forced to get it, and again, it will boil down to your preference. So tell me what you think about the Jris75 on the comment section down below. Let's have a quick discussion. And that is it for the video, guys. I hope you find this review helpful and I hope you didn't find it a bit too long. Again, the group buy for the Jris75 is now live and would end on March 12th. So please don't forget to like the video, as it helps out my channel grow. And what's next? Well, we have a lot of Switch reviews to catch up to, and I'll be reviewing the Mongeek M2. So please stay tuned for that. Again, don't forget to like the video, share if you want, and of course subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys on the next review. Peace.